They said it was impossible. They said,
you can't put together the most elite team of comic book reviewers on the planet and do, a podcast or something like that?
Despite all that, today we can proudly announce. Yeah, they were right. We couldn't do it. So instead, we brought you the most vile, ignorant, unprofessional group of comic book enthusiasts we could find. This is Panel to Panel, the Game Rage Magazine comic podcast.
What a great fucking way to start the episode. Welcome everyone to Panel, the Adam makes fucking sound effects podcast, and
it was gonna turn into like a Stanley Kubrick thing when you have that choir and like it puts you at unease. I even threw my hands up like the guy from Platoon.
It was pretty legit, man. It was pretty legit. Anyways, welcome to Panel to Panel. My name's Josh. I'm here today with Adam, the sound effect master of the day.
What's that guy's name from Police Academy?
Oh man, yeah.
Is it Carl something?
Yeah, he's Police
Academy sound effect guy.
Sound effect.
I can't think of the fucking name.
Michael Winslow.
God, I knew it was Winslow, but I just didn't know if it.
Yeah, the man of 10,000 sound effects.
I wish I could be that talented.
Yeah, man, that is a talent that is I don't know if there's anyone else that has ever done that since as well.
Yep.
So, anyways, this is Panel to Panel. My name is Josh. I'm here today with Adam, the Timu Michael Winslow.
Instead of 10,000, I got maybe 10 on hand.
You got 15.
I've got like 2 pages of a Steam Deck worth of sound effects.
Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna be talking about the Immortal Hulk number 11 today. Wow.
This is where shit gets batshit crazy.
It does. It starts to become fucking insane, and I can't wait.
Yeah, this is
to get into it.
This is the part where things have transitioned from monster of the week to oh my god, divine horror, existential horror, dude.
Existential horror and crises happening on a fucking daily basis. But anyways, before we get into this, if you want to go listen to more of our stuff, you can go to YouTube, and just type in your little search bar, Game Rage Magazine. All of us, our shit will pop up, and you should like, comment, and subscribe because that helps us out. Also, if you want to follow us on social media, you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine, Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. You can go follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official on Instagram and go listen to the All Gas No Trash podcast. You can also listen to Frank on Anime Syndicate, and you can follow him on Instagram at anime_syndicate_podcast. All right. Before we get into this, though, did you hear any interesting new facts about Game Rage Magazine this week?
Yeah. When you listen to Game Rage Magazine, your battery life on your controllers for whatever console you own lasts 15% longer.
Damn, that's a great value.
Yeah, for doing absolutely nothing but listen.
For just listening to us for free. You don't even got to pay them any money for that. That's pretty cool. The thing that I heard was that if you listen to Game Rage Magazine, that you have a 6% higher chance of adding a new sound effect that you can make with your mouth, much like Michael Winslow. So all you got to do is listen, and you could likely have a 6% higher chance of adding a new sound effect, such as like a horn, one of those old-timey horns. Hell, I even heard that you're 20% more likely to be able to go into 1920s announcer guy voice, just in and out like nobody's business if you listen to Game Rage Magazine.
I also heard that, you know when you rush over to plug in your phone?
Oh, yeah.
That 1% actually lasts 1 hour.
Damn.
So
That's excellent.
There's no immediacy. You'd be like, don't worry about it. Game Rage has got you. If you listen, You can plug in your phone with no concerns at 1%.
Yep, you can slowly make your way to the charger to plug that into the wall. You don't have to worry about tripping or stubbing your fucking toe.
Yeah, you can saunter your way over there.
Oh yeah, nice and casual like. Anyways, all right. Let's get into the Immortal fucking Hulk. Jesus Christ, this fucking cover. Just an emaciated Hulk crawling out of the ground into a literal hellscape. That is a sight to be seen. And then, I mean, what is kind of sad is they have the Stan Lee in remembrance banner at the top, 1922 to 2018.
He did.
But like, they could have put it on the next page, all right? You didn't have to put it on the page where the Hulk is literally crawling into hell. Like man, I would hope Stan Lee's not in hell, but I mean, maybe he is. Who knows?
Not to mention, did you see the background though? There's just tons of bodies. It's wild.
It's fucking wild, man. It is literally hell. The bodies are piled up. They look like smoke fucking stacks or whatever. But
or a tornado of
of dead bodies. Like, man.
Nice portrait of fucking Stan Lee.
Nice portrait. Again, on the same page as the quote, which says, "Hell is empty and all the devils are here."
Yeah.
William Shakespeare, The Tempest. So we get into these, we open up with these black and white panels, and it shows a house on fire. It literally says, "What is hell?" And I'm just going to read these because I thought this was fucking interesting, man.
Yeah, just read it verbatim.
What is hell? There are places in this universe made of red rock and flame, peopled by horned goats and fanged serpents, built for the torment of souls. But these places are not hell. They are only places. Hell is not a place. Hell is the absence of God. Not atheism. A thing cannot be absent if it was never there. To be truly absent, God must have once been present. God must have a face to turn it away from you. But is there another face that looks upon you when God's has gone? Does God have a shadow? Does God have a Hulk? And then it just says below. And then we get into this fucking panoramic fucking like, this is an epic scene, man.
Oh yeah, it's crazy as shit.
And it's literally the Hellstrom Hotel. It says Hotel Hell on the thing, and you just see the green door shooting into the fucking sky, and you just see just an apocalyptic landscape, and you see emaciated Hulk walking with what the fuck's this lady's name again? I forgot because it's been so long. Jackie, the reporter. And he says to her, how do I get to be what you are? And she's like, what? And then she says, I let you ask me one question. That was the question. How do I get to be what you are? And she's just like, oh, you want to fucking talk about this now? I just seen a man die. I wasn't exactly thinking straight. And he's like, that's when the truth comes out. You're not the first to get obsessed because I broke your house. It happens. You're not the first to want to climb into some gamma machine either. People see me and they imagine what it's like to be me. Oh yeah? And she's like, I can't imagine it at all. What it must be like to feel that rage, to be able to feel that rage, to be allowed to feel it. You smash towns, you ruin lives, you kill people, not many, but you've killed them. 6 months later, you're on the Avengers again. All is forgiven. And I got shot into space, right? Yeah, you were shot into space instead of just shot. And then she's doing the gun fucking fingers, and the finger guns are like right at his head, man. That's fucking cool. And he's just like, You wreck a city, and Doctor Strange looks for a retirement home for you. Iron Man looks for a paradise planet to put you on. Your anger, it's indulged, even respected. Mine is dismissed if I'm lucky. We live in a world of men, white, college-educated men. Men like Bruce Banner, who just rant and scream and rage and smash things. And the world bends over backward to understand that. To reward it. So yeah, I guess I'm asking, how do I get my piece of that pie, Hulk? How do I get to be what you are? And then the Hulk's like, that's good. Now you're getting it, son. Like, I like this. And she's like, right, of course you do. Have a good laugh at the puny human. He's like, no, not that. How you talk about anger like it's something that needs letting out, like it's useful, like it can get things done. You don't lock it away, call it another name, pretend it's not you. You're not ashamed of it. That I like. But if you could step into a gamma machine, you would, right? And she says, sure, who wouldn't? And then we hear off screen, what's it like, Doc, being the Hulk? I'll bet it was a gas. And then we see fucking Rick Jones.
Who is a good buddy of Bruce Banner, died. He was formerly the Abomination, the good version of the Abomination, but he did.
Yeah, he did. And
so now he and Hale.
Yeah, he and Hale. And then we cut back to the black and white stuff. And then it says, and what would that look like? What is the anger of God? We are told it is in the flood or the storm. Insurance men say that these are God's acts against which we are unprotected. But that is the irrational side speaking. The rational side, science, says it was our doing after all. We poisoned the air, we boiled the sea, filled it with plastic. We decided hating each other was more vital than saving each other. And then it's the cops beating the shit out of some dude. We were given a miracle world and we broke it. Perhaps we thought God would give us another. It won't work that way. What is God's anger? God's face turning away, leaving us alone with what we've done. And then we get back to, what's his fucking name? Creel. He's just crying and saying, I'm sorry. I did this. I let it happen. My stupid pride. I let this in. And then a hand reaches out and says, trust me, evil has always been in. And he's like, who? And he says, Eugene Judd, codename Puck. Sometimes it's from Shakespeare. Sometimes it's a hockey joke. And you, I recognize. Crusher Creel, the absorbing man. You become whatever you touch. I'm sure that was useful to it. Magic too, or he said, and then he says, magic too. A gift from God, a gift from a God, doesn't follow scientific rules. I bet that's why it chose you. It's been pulling strings a while now, huh? Reaching in where it's strongest, stroking and cajoling the minds around it. And then Crusher is like, it? Sure, it. The devil. And then he's just like, eh? And then he says, now I've met a devil, which was fun. But I think this is the definitive article, the peak of my career. And Creel's just like, how did you find me? And this guy's like, I followed certain indicators. Fields of force. You're an important man in these parts, Mr. Creel. You're the key. You're the man who opened the door. And you're going to help me close it. Follow me. And the Creel's just like, hey, wait a minute. Hey, how do you know all this shit? Talking about the devil, keys, doors. How do you know about this? Who are you? And then he says, when I was 8, I hunted my first bear. Big grizzly. That was 1922 in the Yukon, and he kept us through a cold winter. I didn't know we got fucking Franklin Roosevelt down here in hell.
Yeah, keep in mind his stature's like 3 feet or whatever.
He's like 3 feet tall, yeah. And he's like, in Spain, I fought bulls and fascists, and I let the bulls live. In Nepal, I hunted the tiger god and killed all fear in me. I've fought queens of dreams and the world's secret master. I've fought demons in hell and stolen their thrones. And those thrones haven't bound me. And it all comes back to one thing. I was 8, full of bear meat and adventure. And I made a vow, Mr. Creel. I vowed I would live an interesting life. I think I've done okay so far, eh? And then we get back to the question, the black and white stuff. Does that answer the question, though? We can speak of the anger of God, but does God have a Hulk? Hulk, something large, unwieldy. A word pulled from the vocabulary of a frightened soldier to name the indescribable. The primary definition is a rotted ship, vast and strong, but gutted, empty of treasure, a shell. There is a concept in the Kabbalah called the Tree of Life, a map of 10 spheres or emanations describing both creation and mankind's spiritual path. But the tree has an opposite side, a shadow side. This is known as the Qliphoth. clip off, meaning shells. And then you got Rick Jones back. You go back to the Hulk, and he's like, golly, Doc, you're in real bad shape. With his fucking no eyeballs and his skin's all sucked in, man.
Yeah, talk about a shell of a being, man.
Yeah.
Rick Jones is like this ghastly fucking. He's got no. It's creepy as shit.
Yeah, it is, man. And then he says, I thought Rick Jones was dead. And he says, oh, what happened? And he says, he is. His eyes are they empty sockets or what? Oh yeah, they're empty, all right. And then the Hulk fucking sticks his finger in his fucking eye sockets.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's hollow inside. Just a skin repeating old lines, a shell. And then you hear, baby girl, don't look. And she's like, oh shit. He's like, don't look him in the eye. Oh God, no. And that's her dad. Her dad is there in hell.
Yeah, I love how the Hulk sticks his finger. He's got like this gooey substance. Man, no sense of personal space whatsoever.
Yeah, man. And he's like, no, he's like, listen, leave him. And he's like, this is my dad. And he's like, no, it isn't. Not the parts that count. And she's like, how do you know? How do you know, you motherfucker? He died from the stress. You know that? Trying to put our lives back together. He worked himself to death. What do you know about that? Who cares about you that much? And then the Hulk's like, well, there's this guy. And he's Milksop, got no guts. Thunderbolt Ross, Banner's father-in-law. He cared. Maybe not how you meant it, but, that can't be right. He's not dead, is he? And then it's just him that powerful fall says, bah, a bomb, bah. And it's a bomb. And then he turns into this fucking red fucking crazy.
Turns to Red Hulk, yeah.
Red Hulk. And she's like, oh God. And then he's like, that's how much he cared enough to make sure he could kill me. I'd take a step back if I were you. And he's like, there he is. The demoniacal Hulk. And then they just start fucking fighting.
They're exchanging hands.
Throwing hands. And he's like, you won't escape me again, Hulk. And she's like, Jones, you were a Hulk too. You could change, maybe stop him, help him. Come on. And he's like, he doesn't need help, lady. He just needs a little piece of quiet, that's all. And so the Hulk is yelling. He's like, so what happened, Ross? You died and it stuck this time? Think that lets you off? You could have been a father to Banner, but you wouldn't let him be. You couldn't leave us alone. You're dead now. Good. I'll kill you twice. And he fucking sticks his fingers inside of his eye sockets. And he just starts ripping fucking the face away, and he just rips Red Hulk in half, man.
Yeah, rips him to shreds.
Rips him to straight fucking shreds. And she says, Hulk, you finished him. And Hulk is in the background just fucking beating the shit out of his remains. And then he says, he sounds fiercer, crueler, dangerous. Hulk will kill everything. And then we go back to the narration.
Yeah.
In Kabbalah, the highest point on the tree of life is called Keter, the crown set above all things. It is compassion beyond comprehension, the unity of the divine. But on the opposite side is Taumiel, where that great unity is split into contending forces, each existing at the expense of the other, refusing to be as one. I am no scholar, but if the Klipoth is a reflection, then perhaps the shadow sphere is the lowest point below all, a hell beneath all others. Some would say such a realm has a single demonic representative, a single ruler, Satan, the adversary, he whose spiritual pride led to the fall. But this is a place without unity. And then we see, this is fucking Banner's dad, right?
Yep.
And he's like, there, you see? Just like I've always said, he's a monster. Believe me, son, you're better off without him. And then, who the fuck is this? Is this,
I think that's actually Banner.
Banner? Oh,
so
man.
it's like they're two different.
He's trapped in this, yeah.
There's Bruce Banner.
And then there's the Hulk.
There's the Hulk.
Damn. So they are two separate forces in this bottom area.
I think so.
And then it says, back to the thing is, this is a place without unity. And then it says, and some say there are two, talking about there's two devils, right? And then this world, our hell, that ends the fucking, the thing. And then we get the cover issue, or no, that's a fucking art. We get the next cover issue, Hulk in Hell Part 2, and it's like this giant maw of a mouth fucking about to swallow fucking whole the Hulk. Crazy, man. And then apparently we get, don't miss, Hulkverine's #1.
That is Marvel fucking jumping the shark. I remember seeing that shit. I'm like, who the fuck would rightly pay for this, dude? A Hulk?
Marines.
It seems redundant to have a Hulk that has adamantium, an adamantium shell when he's basically indestructible to begin with.
Yeah, that seems ridiculous.
What the fuck is a claw gonna do? Adding a claw to the Hulk is like the dumbest shit ever.
That is stupid as hell.
Yeah, I remember being mad as fuck when that thing I'm like, this is fucking Marvel reaching.
Marvel fuckery. Anyways, man, this shit is getting so good, man. I can't wait until next week when we get to fucking do the next issue, man. All these comics that we're doing are so good, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. So,
what would you say is your favorite at the moment?
man, dude, Vader. Okay, I gotta leave Vader out because it's Star Wars. Star Wars is always gonna be my number one. But honestly, I think Hulk right now is now taking the lead back into number one because this shit is just getting off the chains, man.
Yeah.
So it's fucking great.
Yeah, this whole monologue, I don't even remember who the fuck was saying it. I think it's just a third-person narrator.
Like a narration.
But just the fact that they're talking about abstract ideas like the Kabbalah and all this shit, and then talking about possibly, the Hulk being a shell of a ship or whatever. It's like, that's the Hulk, dude, because it's like he's just the embodiment of Banner's rage or Bruce Banner's rage. It's not even a real, I don't even know if you would say he's a real person, but he kind of is. But it's kind of descriptive of what was said about the in that whole monologue thing. This is just badass, dude. I fucking love this issue. I think when I remember reading these next two issues were the ones that stood out to me the most in the comic book. So I'm glad we're finally at that fucking juncture. It's such a treat. Indeed.
It's a massive treat. So, anyways, if you want to listen to more of our shit, you can go to Game Rage Magazine on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. Also, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine, Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. Follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official on Instagram, and you can follow Frank at anime_syndicate_podcast on Instagram. All right, that's it for us. Catch you guys on the next one.
That was Panel to Panel, the Game Rage Magazine comic book podcast. Thanks for listening. If you want to know more and follow along, go to Instagram and TikTok. Follow at Game Rage Magazine. If you want to follow on Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. Tune in next time.